Hello everyone, it's WhisperAudios and welcome to July 2022 monthly favourites. Now if you haven't checked out the previous monthly favourites, then I've created a handy little playlist up here or there. Anyway, it'll be down in the description where you can check out all of the monthly favourites so far. I alternate between whispering and soft speaking for those of you who like or dislike either or. That doesn't make any sense. So today I will be doing soft spoken. My stomach is going for it today, so please forgive any stomach rumbles. I stupidly had a coffee before I filmed this because it was just one of those mornings I needed a caffeine fix, and I was like, it will be okay, but it's not. And I'm also trying to film before midday before it gets too hot because I haven't been able to film for the last week after I came back from holiday because it's just been so freaking hot. Here in the UK and actually all across Europe, we've been experiencing some very, very unusual high temperatures. So the studio has been far too unsafe to film in because there's no air conditioning. There's really no ventilation actually, apart from like one window which opens like that much. And I can't have it open when I'm recording because like flies come in and you can hear everybody outside and the geese and stuff more than usual. So today's the first day I've been able to get back into the studio and it's monthly favourites time. Okay, so we'll start with music, my favourite song for the month. Now I'm still not discovering any new music that I like, so my apologies for just sharing random songs at the moment. But this particular, it's not a particular song as like a song, it's more like a group of music or a class of music. I can't really explain it, but it is music for ADHD. Now, I don't have ADHD, but the music that is like a 8-hour long track, the music that has been put together to help people with ADHD concentrate actually really works for me, especially when I'm doing like mundane tasks or tasks where I have to put a lot of focus and not get distracted, because I get distracted pretty quickly. I'm always like checking my phone, or if there's a noise outside I'm like, what's that? Or if I hear people talking outside, I will tune into their conversation and realise that I haven't done anything for the past 10 minutes because I'm listening to what they're saying outside. So I needed something that I could drown out the sound of outside, but also not get distracted with the music either, because that happens to me as well. I get really lost in the lyrics and the tune, and I kind of end up listening to the song rather than it being in the background. So I found a bunch of tracks on YouTube. I just typed in music for ADHD, and this one's pretty good, and this one's pretty good. But I would say that, let me turn my internet back on because that's why it's not working. But I would say this like red one here is the best for me. It has a really kind of strong pulse rhythm to it, and it doesn't have like a repeating pattern that I can easily identify, because when a rhythm or a pattern or a chord or something repeats, it really puts me off, because I can hear when the track is repeating itself again. I don't like that. So the one that I listen to is called ADHD Relief Music, Deep Focus Music for Studying and Concentration Study Music, and it's by Green Red Productions, relaxing music, and it's this red one here. So I really, really like that. It's been really, really helpful for me just to concentrate, really, and just block out all the distractions that just end up taking up most of my day. So if you struggle to concentrate or get easily distracted, or if you have ADHD, then please check out ADHD music. It's worked for me despite not having ADHD. So now we come on to my favourite TV show, and finally I have finished watching Ozark. Now, you all know I love Ozark. I love the storyline. I love all the characters. I love the way it's executed, shots, production design, everything. And finally, I came to the end of season, is it 4? I can't remember how many seasons there are. I really don't fact check my videos before I do them. It's so terrible. But I came to the end, and I will really, really, really try not to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, watched it, or are not up to date. But the conclusion wraps up, I think, really, really nicely in true Ozark fashion. Because in Ozark, what I've come to realise is that no one is safe. No one is free or immune from, like, being shot and killed. So despite being really sad that a particular character dies at the end, I won't say who, I absolutely agree with the producers and the writers of the show, because it was such a shocking death that needed to happen, and I thought they executed it pretty well as well. It was quite of a dramatic send-off in the best way possible. Now, my favourite character, and you probably people who have watched it will agree, Julia Garner, who plays Ruth Langmore. She is a phenomenal actress, and there is this one scene where she bursts into the bird residence, and she basically loses her mind and goes like full rage mode. And I have not seen acting like that in anything for such a long time. You could really hear the fury and the rage and the hurt in her voice and her performance, like coming through the screen. And I was literally, my mouth fell open. I was like, oh, this is amazing. So amazing. So she was the total breakout for that whole series. She really kind of was the star of it, in my opinion. Jason Bateman is just amazing as Marty Bird. I need that level of chill that he has because everything's going wrong. Wendy has messed it up for him once again, and he's just yeah, well, okay, we'll just do something about it then. What do you want me to do about it? It's just it's great. But I think finally he has his moments where he lets out all his pent-up emotion. Again, I won't ruin it, but it was really nice to see that side of Marty Bird of it, finally, because he's just been so level throughout the whole series. We really needed that sort of dynamic to just say he's human, you know? So Ozark, amazing. It's totally going into my top TV shows list, up there with Breaking Bad. And if you like Breaking Bad, you'll love Ozark. It's more of a more realistic version of Breaking Bad. I feel like Breaking Bad is a little bit comic booky, whereas Ozark is more David Fincher. Not really. David Fincher meets Nolan. That's probably not a very good description, but it's more dark and it's more real and gritty, and more political as well, which actually I really liked. I don't buy into a lot of American politics that much, but Wendy Bird and her desire for power really made me sort of quite interested in how it all works. So that's Ozark. Go check it out. So now we come on to my favourite ASMR artist, and this one is really special. I really cannot wait to show this ASMR artist to you because she is a relatively new ASMR artist. She hasn't got too many subscribers at the moment, but I really want to change that because her work is amazing. So the channel is called Grace Bonnie ASMR, and the channel currently has 10,000 subscribers, but honestly, her quality of work, she deserves millions of subscribers, honestly. And if you can imagine, if Ting Ting ASMR and Latte ASMR merged together and created a brand new channel, this is what Grace Bonnie ASMR, to me, reminds me of. So I'll play you one of my favourite videos of hers. She has such a wonderful voice. It's more in the higher pitched range, and she has kind of a slight accent, which you know I really, really love. And her production design and costume and script is all just chef's kiss. So without further ado, here is one of my favourite videos.
So first, let's start with your left side, and I'm just gonna hold your arm like this, and please relax. So starting from your bicep reflex, I'm just gonna traction down here and give it a little tap. Good. Brachioradialis, a little tap right here. Good.
So, can you see what I mean? She's just so amazing, and even like all the medical terms that she uses, all the videos, all very, very well researched. And I have literally been watching her videos on repeat, like every single day. It's one of those like very soothing, very calming, people that can pique your interest in what they're saying without kind of distracting you too much. And her personal attention is so amazing. Like, she has like cranial nerve exams, she also has like face touching, tracing. Follow my instructions. So please, please, please do check out Grace Bonnie ASMR. Go give her a subscribe and let's try and push her subscriber number up. Alright, so now we move on to my favourite cosmetic, and you guys have probably seen these already in two of my videos that I've uploaded recently, and they are the Revolution Pout Bomb Plumping Lip Glosses. Now, I cannot get enough of these. These are probably one of the best lip glosses I've ever used in my life. Simply because, I mean, look at the packaging. You get quite a lot of product for the price, which is actually pretty reasonable. I think they retail at about £5 or just over £5. And I actually got a deal on these where it was like buy two, get one free. And the formula is the best. Like, it has like a tingling sensation to it when you put it on, like minty. It's not sticky, it doesn't dry your lips out, and honestly the colour payoff is great. This one is the colour Sauce, and I kind of just keep this colour with Juicy and Cookie in my studio at all times, because I kind of feel like those shades are the ones that kind of suit my complexion the best. And also, like, this one I use for the flirty stylist videos because it's like red themed. This one is more like grungy, kind of like 90s looking, and this one is kind of a little bit darker than my natural lip colour. So that's just for, like, you know, these kind of videos. So I absolutely love these, and I'm a bit obsessed about lip glosses at the moment. I do have a bunch of other new lip glosses that I really want to try out on this channel. I know in terms of views they're not that great, but I really enjoy making them. There's something quite satisfying about putting on lip gloss. I actually really enjoy watching it too, so it's a personal favourite trigger of mine. But yeah, I've really been enjoying these. So that's Revolution Pout Bomb Plumping Lip Gloss. Alright, so finally we come on to my favourite book for the month. Now, I will caveat this with a warning. If you are a particularly religious person, if you are quite a devout Christian, I would suggest either, you know, turning off right now, or if you're easily like triggered by alternate tellings of the Jesus Christ story, or, you know, the origins of Jesus. If you don't like hearing alternate versions of that, then please turn away now. I don't want to offend anybody. But me myself, I am agnostic. I wouldn't go so far as saying I'm an atheist, because I just don't know what's out there, but I'm certainly not a Christian, and I don't commit or partake in any religion in particular. I just live my life religion free. Alright, so let's carry on. So my favourite book of this month is called The Liar's Gospel by Naomi Alderman. Now, Naomi wrote The Power, which was one of my favourite books, and I think I've probably mentioned it on here. The Power was about women who suddenly got the power to shoot electricity out of their hands. Sounds a bit weird, but it's kind of metaphorical. It basically is, what if women actually had a physical advantage over men? What would the world be like? And that book has stayed with me even to this day, and I think about it to this day. So I was so excited to read another one by Naomi Alderman. To be honest, the blurb didn't grab me. It didn't sort of say, read me, because again, like, it's has a religious undertone to it, and I don't really go a lot into that, but I thought, because I like the writer so much, I'll give it a chance. So I'm so glad I did. So basically, Liar's Gospel follows the life of the people around Jesus, or Yeshua, I think I'm saying that right, I'm not sure, the prophet. So we follow the life of his mother, Mary. We follow the life of one of his disciples, one of the Roman soldiers, and also we follow the story of Judas too. Now, this is a very interesting perspective, because in this book, Jesus is essentially made out to be not a raving lunatic, but somebody with severe mental illness that basically gets out of hand. I wouldn't liken it to Charles Manson, but I got big Charles Manson vibes from it without obviously the killing and stuff like that. I'm really trying to be careful with my words here because I don't want to offend anybody, but my opinion about it all is that Jesus was a real person and he was quite influential, but not for the reasons that we think today. And I think this book really shows how the power of speech and someone's charisma really can propel them into somewhere or a place where people follow them, people take their word as gospel, and things start to get out of hand. I really liked the Mary storyline, Jesus' mother. Basically, Jesus has abandoned his family to go on his own quest, and he doesn't really care about his brothers or sisters or his mother or father at all. There is a moment where he comes back and argues with Joseph, his dad, and I thought that was quite interesting because it shows a different side of Jesus. It shows a different side, his anger and his adolescent sort of frustration with his father figure. So I really liked this not only because of that, but I also liked the backdrop in which it was set, the description of Jerusalem, its people, its environment, the Roman occupation, the weather, the kind of atmosphere. It was all very, very well done, and it honestly felt like I was there. It was so beautifully written. So I really, really enjoyed this book, and it really surprised me. So if you have an open mind about the whole sort of origins of Christianity and, well, Jesus in particular, the Jesus story, then I would encourage you to kind of read this book. There are a lot of different notes at the back on the sources because I think this book got a lot of criticism about sort of where it got its sources from, but it says at the back, this is of course a work of fiction. Much of it is made up, especially the personal lives of public figures which tended not to be recorded. However, many of the most surprising parts of this book are based in fact. So a few brief notes on some of the things that are true, insofar as we know what is true. My main sources have been the works of Josephus, the Talmud, and the Gospels themselves. So that's my favourite book for the month, Liar's Gospel. So that brings us to the end of July 2022's monthly favourites. Of course, like always, I'll make sure to put all the links down in the description should you want to check them out for yourself. Alright, so I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you soon.